off with Giordano, 2-on-1. Michael Backlund shoots, scores!
Benning, great move. Here is Benning, shot, scores!
Comes free to Shane, blocked by Lucic, ran him over.
And he wins it back to Foley, scores! No way! Oh my! No way! For Fiddler, backhand to Fiddler! Oh my!
And it is Gilmore waiting around the net, waiting.
Backstrom slides it in front, scores! Jason Chimera!
Kept in by Matthews. Here it is. Scores! 5 minutes into overtime in Game 5. And McDavid scores! Game winner! Series winner for Connor McDavid! I have been Alberta bound for all my life. And I'll be Alberta bound until I die.
Welcome back to the 2 Months Podcast. I am your host, Joshua Marshall, and my co-host this evening, he is back with us. He is the main co-host, and that is Clay Vanderham. Vandy, how's it going?
Vandy is dandy. Edmonton, Alberta, do you believe?
Yes.
Oil country, do you believe? And that's what it's coming down to.
That's the title of the podcast, then.
Right?
Do you believe?
Do
right?
you believe? Yeah. Things are good. We're winding up spring sports, so inline lacrosse, and they just cram everything in to try to get it done before July, I think. But it's been busy, yeah. So looking forward to getting into the summer and the swing of things and winding down a little bit.
Yeah. No, it's.
And you, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, no, good. Things are trending in a really good direction, I guess. I'm better now than I was probably before, and going to Mind Buffs every Saturday, getting my counseling done is really good. That's I do a Tuesday night check-in, and I do a in-person session and on Saturday, so that's really awesome. And church was amazing yesterday, and so that was really good. Got to connect with my pastor more, Pastor Brett. He just came off surgery for a gallbladder infection. So
oh boy.
Yeah, so speedy recovery to him, and he looks better now. It's a couple weeks ago that happened, and so yeah, no, he's doing good. And ran into a good friend of the pod, and Marissa Graham. She's going to be coaching against Jason Chimera this year. So she's got her own group of teams that she'll be working with out in Red Deer. So yeah, great to see her, catch up with her. So she's an amazing person. And
so what level's that? Is that U18?
U18, yeah, U18 triples, I believe. Yeah.
So
she'll be coaching again.
He'll have the Pandas, I assume.
He's going to have, he went to was it HSL? Is it? Or he went to
okay.
No, he went to man, it's right on the tip of my tongue. And we
sorry, I didn't mean to tongue tie it.
Yeah, no.
Well, what team does Marissa coach?
She's coaching the Red Deer Rebels, female team.
Oh, nice.
For the triples.
God, women's hockey. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Chimera is with is it the
OHA?
OHA, yes. Sorry, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Dan Aukenberg, Doug Aukenberg,
right?
He's out in Lloydminster, right? So they'll be coaching against him too, because he's running that program as well. So
that girls hockey's exploding,
yes,
dude.
It is.
Good to see. It
is really good to see. Yeah. No. So she said that they're gonna have some great tryouts. She's looking forward to it. She's getting busy here, and it's growing, and obviously PWHL was big in that.
Mm-hmm.
As the first season was very successful and
very
on and off the ice, and obviously, I got to see the face of the league cheering on her cousin Darnell Nurse in Sarah Nurse here in Edmonton. So yeah, no positive stuff there. And then we were on the ice with our Southside kids. We're on every Sunday, so out at Kinsman, and it's a great every Sunday night. It's perfect. So it's a good group, 2 different sessions, U16 dubs, and then a U17 triples. That's the team I'll be coaching with Doug Aukenberg and Dane Aukenberg and Mark and Coach Carter. So we got a good group we're looking forward to it. It's fun being out on the ice. Like the weekend's the best because I do my therapy and then I do church, and then at the end of it, I end on the ice with the kids, and it sets up for a good week. So yeah, as we record this Monday night, it's been good. It's been really good.
Coaching is therapy, dude. As strange as that may sound, it is. There, for me at least, there is no place I would rather be than behind the bench watching my kids from that view. And I'm fortunate enough to where I can.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I would last up in the crowd. I do it for lacrosse, and I find myself, and I don't know shit about lacrosse, but I find myself, I'm like, oh my God, I wish I was on the bench. But
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Yeah, it's cool because one of the kids got a little hurt yesterday. So I was like, here, take it easy. So I went and sat with him on the bench, and he's asking how my day was. I was asking how his day is, and he's a good kid, and just learning more about them. And
what are they hitting? They're not hitting. They're just
we haven't gotten
doing,
to that yet. So we did skills last Sunday, or last Sunday we were off. The prior Sunday, so 3 Sundays ago, we did skills. Then we're off, and then yesterday we did power skating.
yeah, it's just casual, and then they'll ramp up in August probably.
Yes, in August we're off. Sorry, we're out to the end of July. So and we have looking forward to. So Matt Bedding's committed to come out and skate with these kids, and Alexander Petrovic's committed to come out with these kids, and then we're working on Jeff Glass and Mitch Love to come out from Calgary on a Sunday to come out and skate with these kids in July. So nothing committed on that on those two guys as coaches, but
right.
Benning and Petrovic have already said that they will come out for at least one skate with these kids. So that'll be cool to have an NHL player snapping the puck around with them, and yeah, I think they'll all be pretty fired up for that. And yeah, just looking forward to a good opportunity. This is with Doug Ockenberg, and as you know, like I agree, coaching is therapy. I've been in like a director / like a manager's role the last couple of years.
That just adds to the therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just you need therapy after doing those roles.
Yeah, so this is quite or not a little difference. It's a big difference in a good way. Yeah. I got a kind of a different role as the coach, and
right.
One coach will run the D, the other assistant coach will run the forwards. Doug runs the bench, and then kind of does head coaching, and then I'm kind of with him, and just more watching the opponents and seeing what they're doing, picking up their tendencies and trying to point those things out to the coach, to the kids, and all that. So, no, it'll be
fun, dude.
Yeah, it will be. Can't wait to get going, and yeah, I don't have to worry about working out of town anymore. So to worry about that, be in my own bed every night. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, awesome stuff there. But let's break it down. People are here to listen to us talk about this. Believe or do you not believe in the Oilers, Vandy? And they've given their fans some hope here. I know this is an NBA term, and we're watching an NBA game right now with the Celtics looking to win the championship, and Tatum, a good friend of Matthew Tkachuk. So let's see if one guy can do it one night and the other guy can do it the next night. But Oilers fans will not want the second night to go good for the NHL side. But the terminology in the word of the gentleman's sweep, and that would be you as you know all about that. Probably it's give that team that one win that they need, and then you just take them out in Game 5. But where are you at? So obviously a big game and a lot to dissect here, but overall thoughts just in general of it.
Well, let's go to Saturday. I mean, if tomorrow is the final game of the year, what a send off for the fans and something to look forward to heading into summer. Now, I've been asked this probably a dozen times over the last couple of days, what's going to happen. It's hard to tell. It's hard, it's easy for us to sit here and go, well, to me, the Oilers got to get out quick tomorrow. But I mean, talking about Saturday, I mean, you got everything went right.
Everything went right for the Oilers and everything went wrong for the Panthers in a way, you could say.
Right. And you hope, not hope, but you're like, you look at what Boston's doing to Dallas right now, and they're dummying them in the NBA playoffs. And you hope that the Oilers can gain momentum. I think they can. I mean, I think Knobloch's when he spoke today, said it best. Like everybody, and guilty. I'll raise my hand. We've written this team off in November. We wrote them off in the first or the second round. We wrote them off against Dallas. I don't think anybody picked them. So, I mean, it's tough to say what's going to happen, and for them to do what they did. I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to correct some stuff, and they're obviously going to come out hard, and you hope that, little Bennett crawling across the ice. You don't want to wish injuries on people, but you hope that it's worse than it actually is, and you hope maybe he's not 100%. Not that anybody is in this series right now, but you hope that they can gain that edge from Saturday and bring it in and just gain momentum. And that's, I remember Trev Rupper, when we coached, he called it Mo. And if you can gain Mo in a game, in a series, I mean, it's a dangerous thing at this time of year. And especially with a young, aggressive offensive team like the Oil, where they get, like Dry got some touches, Holloway, Janmark's been Janmark all playoffs, in my opinion. Brown's been really good. But getting Nuge on the board, just stuff like that, where you always say on the bench, like, don't get frustrated. All you need is one off the ass, and that's what Nuge got. Dry got some shots in, and Connor's doing Connor things. If they can continue that and bring that into Tuesday, I think they'll, who knows? Anything can happen.
Well, okay, so you talked about Mo in terms of momentum. I'm the believer momentum doesn't carry over from game to game. I know Bob McKenzie's been on saying that before. Chris Knobloch said it the other day, saying, I don't believe it carries from game to game. I don't even think it carries from period to period. It carries shift to shift. Now, the confidence carries from game to game, but momentum doesn't. But as a coach, Vandy, where you stand on momentum carrying from game to game?
I disagree with that. I mean, you just take in point the last 4 periods of this series.
Well, the whole series in general, like, they've gotten to Bobrovsky. They obviously got the shutout in game 1, but over the series, are we seeing the Bobrovsky where it was like, hey, this guy can be a Vezina goaltender, but then he can be your backup goaltender in a heartbeat? Like, he has that reputation where
he does have that reputation. I mean,
he brings it on. We don't. He does.
Right. It's proven that, I can't remember if I read it or heard it, but when Bobrovsky gets pulled, or it was worded differently, but he does not bounce back very well. So the comment went further to he used to have problems with cramping when he was, I don't know whether he was younger or not. Because he sweats a lot. And so anyway, that would be his way of pulling, not saying he's pulling the chute or anything like that, but that would be his way of, he's struggling to where, you gotta pull him and look, Saturday, and we all know that was a mercy pull, and they knew the game was going to get out of hand, as it already was, but it was time to give him a break. But statistics or prior history for Bobrovsky have shown that he doesn't bounce back from games like that. Now, he hasn't been, they haven't been shelled like that all playoffs.
No. Well,
so, I mean, you got to think.
I have some stats here. So he has twice been shelled that way, and he has been pulled twice already in the playoffs. So,
okay.
Yeah. So game 1 against the Bruins, he allowed 4 goals on 28 shots. So he had a save percentage of .857 and a goals against 414. So they obviously lost that game 6-2. So he was pulled. So Anthony Stolarz came in and allowed some goals. The next game, he only allowed 1 goal, and they won. They actually went on to win 3 straight after.
Oilers fans don't want to hear that.
Yeah, I'm going off the stats. So then in the Rangers series, he had back-to-back losses. And so they were down 2-1 in the series against the Rangers. So they won game 1, again, got a shutout, just like he did in the first game against the Oilers. but then he lost the game or allowed 2 goals. And then the next game, in game 3, he allowed 5 goals on 23 shots and a save percentage of 783 and a goals against the 469.
Right.
And came back to win and close that series out. He actually went on to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row after that. So when he got shelled and got pulled against the Rangers in game 3, he went on to string the next 6 wins, and his last loss was this loss he got chalked up for in game 4. So he, in the next game, he allowed 2 goals,
Right.
So but that's just playoff history. I'm not discounting. You are right. In the regular season, normally what happens is when he has a bad game, it spirals into a bad 10-game stretch for him. Not necessarily loses every single game
Right.
stretch, but he loses the net, and when he gets back in, he still loses, and then it finally comes back. So the window for this opportunity, there's only 3 games possible. There's only 3 guaranteed games left if the Oilers extend. There's no more games after, as we know, like that any hockey fan will understand. It's a 7-game series, it's not a 11-game series. So
It'd be awesome.
It would be, I guess. It could take this thing into July. But my thing is I don't like this is, and I agree that this kind of comment, like, do you think the Oilers got to be prepared for a Ross Colton, Yanni Gourde type of game? In meaning, like, when the Tampa Bay Lightning won their Stanley Cups, when they beat Montreal in the bubble, they won 1-0. It was a Ross Colton game winner. And then when they won against their previous Stanley Cup run, they won. The Yanni Gourde scored a game-winning goal, and they shut out 2. So it was a 2-0 win, but Yanni Gourde got the game winner. There's an empty netter at the end. So I think this game tomorrow, or which will be today when this podcast comes out, I think this is a close game.
Like, I'm 1,000,000%.
I think you can agree to that too.
The Oilers, to answer your original question,
yeah,
I disagree. I think momentum can carry over game to game.
Okay.
I think right now, as it stands, as we're talking, the Oilers have momentum in this series. Now, what they do with it is another. Do they go out and try to run and gun again? You're not going to do that heading into what we're going to talk about now. I believe that tomorrow is going to be, it'll be an overtime. Oil got to keep it close. But what I would be stressing to my guys is you got to get that first goal. And look, this can work the other way too. If you don't get that first goal, you could, you just watch that bench sag. But your mindset heading into that game is, we got to get that first goal.
My inkling tomorrow night is the first TV timeout. Who can score first, if anyone can score first before that first TV timeout, which is the 13-minute mark of the first period, because it's 13, 9 minutes, and 6 minutes is when they do the breakdowns there. Now, Dan O'Rourke, and I don't play into this, but it is interesting. Dan O'Rourke will be the official for this game tonight. He has 15-0-1 in his last 16 games reffing the Florida Panthers. So the Panthers are 15-0-1, and they're
didn't he ref Saturday?
He didn't. No, that was Johnny Bear and Chris Rooney. So he'll be with Steve Kazzari tonight, and he is 5-0 in the playoffs with the Florida Panthers too. So
what does that mean? I don't get what that means.
It's just a record dating back the last 3 seasons, right? Like,
so what he calls more like.
No, it's not even.
Who the fuck keeps track of these stats?
The scouting refs on Twitter. They keep it up. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's like there's some good ones out there. Obviously, the Oilers have a bad record with Steve Gazzari as their referee too. So, but I don't really believe. Like, I know, like, hey, my phone blew up as soon as that Nurse and Bennett hit happened. It was like, this is effing rigged. The NHL, Gary Bettman's there. He's blowing down to the refs, like 5-minute major, all this, and I'm like, calm down.
Hey, I thought I was the only nut bar in the rig comment. There are, like, I was talking to a dad on Saturday at lacrosse, and he goes, he was happy. He was watching the game. We were watching a lacrosse, a junior B lacrosse game, and then he had the game on. And he's like, all my buddies think the NHL is rigged. I'm like, what do you mean all your buddies? He's like, every one of them. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I'm not a believer. I won't go down that route.
I know, but See, and
and
what
maybe
it
I
got
maybe
me
Jared can
thinking.
bring. Well, there's ways you can think about it. I get it.
No, I
Like,
know, but the way
yeah,
analytics go, you can turn any analytic or data into, well, it's Steve O'Rourke's reffing,
yeah, no,
it's
yeah,
rigged, or Florida just wants to win it at home, and like, come on,
yeah.
Keith Kachuk and his family would not have flown into Edmonton.
No, there was over 300,
Right,
300 family and friends that the Panthers brought in
right,
this game. The Panthers players said today they were on record saying it was a problem. It was a big distraction.
100% it
Yeah.
is.
And I
Because what, are they going to fly in and not contact you?
well, this
The
was
first thing they're doing when they land, it goes, "We're here. Let's go for dinner." Whatever.
I saw it firsthand. I drove down. Friday night I was downtown. I was strolling down, walking, everything, and Shania Twain was doing her rehearsal from like I think it was like 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. There was no like where she was performing on Saturday. She was out late at night doing a rehearsal. She was on stage, so I drove by the arena and as I drove by, I saw our friend of the podcast and Mike Benning, Matt Benning's brother, and all like every single Panther player was out on the street watching the concert when they were with their families. Like it was like the Brady's were there, the Kachucks were there. Like it was not all of them. I think some of them flew in earlier that morning, but it was like it was a herd of Florida Panthers family and friends members and stuff like that. Like at least I saw like it was a lot of people. Like obviously some of it could be team staff. I don't know every single person individually, but they were broken into their different groups. They were FaceTiming, they were on their phones, they were trying to get a glimpse of Shania Twain on the stage. It was even big for the Panthers players the night before as it was big for the other players. And we saw Shania Twain came back and hey, if this game goes to game 6, Shania Twain's coming back. Daryl Cates is fighting that bill and saying get back there. She has no choice to, but and a good luck charm. But anyways, I just thought it was interesting, like in that they came out today saying it was a distraction, and it was obviously it's hard not to, as you said. Like,
well, and you hope. I mean, that's one thing. Maybe
it could be a distraction.
What are they going to do? Keep
game?
everybody away?
Know.
You can't keep families away.
No,
when they're excited about it, they're gonna find a way to get to the game. You tell me the Kachucks aren't going to be in game 6 or 5?
Yeah,
tomorrow they're going to be there.
There probably will be. Yeah, I know Brady was on with Friedman and Amber before the game saying this is the last hockey game I'm going to watch live.
Yeah, he did say. I heard that. So, he did say that's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know if I think we know he'll be there for the next game or this game tonight, regardless if they win or lose.
Or he'll be sitting like at their after party or
could
whatever,
be. Yeah,
but
yeah. But
anyway,
I don't know. And at the end of the day, hey, it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be close. I'd be surprised. Okay, I want to get to another thought on this. You were a coach. You understand the game. Don Cherry always said this. I bring this up because I believe in. I think what Don Cherry is a hockey god in a lot of ways. He's great at what he did, and
in every way, he's a hockey god.
What's that?
In every way, he's a hockey.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like just everything that he did was awesome, but he was a strong believer in this. You do not blow out a team in the playoffs. You do not show them up regardless of the fact. And I understand it's okay. It's like, well, what do you tell the Oilers not to stop scoring? No, it's the game was the game. It is what it is. I get it. But at the end of the day, but I date it back to like in game 6, 06 cup run, Oilers win 5-0. They lose game 7 in Carolina. Do you think any motivation is it's hard to say motivation because there's a Stanley Cup right in front of you if you win. So that should be your own motivation. But where are you at with blowing a team out? And then the next game, that team that got blown out will use that and be a lot better. Like, do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah.
Because Don Cherry's didn't like it. He hated it. He's like, you don't do that.
Well, then, yeah, I mean,
and I don't know how you get away from not doing it. Yeah.
It's a different game than when Cherry coach. So you want kids are built different, and by kids I'm talking even Connor and Leon. They want their touches. They want their give me. I mean, look, this team's been snake bitten for aside from game 2, they've been snake bitten and robbed by a good goalie for 3 games. So if you can get if you can pump 8 past a team where you've only scored 3, 4 in the first 3 games, then all the better. Because I mean, back in the day, you could send out a guy like, Johnny Busick or whoever, you could send guys out to run a guy and try to do what Kachuk was doing. You don't have those type of players anymore, so those guys don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And that's part of what I believe Don Cherry was talking about, is I didn't like to run teams because they could have went after whoever their stars, right? Rick Middleton, whoever it was on his team. I don't even know if he even played them, but anyway.
Yeah.
Like, he could have went after those guys will go after, and they were out there to kill you. Like,
100% they were,
hockey's different nowadays.
Yeah.
Hockey, they don't like who from Florida is gonna. Bennett plays on the edge, Kachuk, but they're not gonna
And Ryan
legit.
Longberg's in the lineup tonight. He's going to play on the edge. So, like, will he be over the edge? I don't know, but he's going to be playing.
Well,
making lineup.
that's the thing. But there's no top guy. Like, nobody's gonna jump anybody.
No, I don't believe in the fighting thing. I thought it was interesting. Like,
but back then you could do that, and it was an eye for an eye. So it was like, you beat us 8-1. Well, let's just say the first shift next game, we're going to go.
Yeah.
And it may be a line brawl. But nowadays, the kid, you need the, Holloway, McLeod. I thought Broberg to me is like turning in. I think we're seeing the evolution of a pretty damn good hockey player.
And they were patient with him, and he was patient with them too, right? So he.
So I mean, you don't have those type of players anymore. So if you can get these guys their touches and get them their feels and get them the confidence that, hey, just because it's Stanley Cup final doesn't mean shit. Like, it's just another game. I know it's a cliche, but let's work on it one game at a time. And we pump them 8-1. Maybe we plant that. All you want to do at this time is plant that seed of doubt. And if you can do that even for an inch, and then tomorrow it's another, or tonight, tonight.
It is there if they lose game 5. It's there. I don't think it's there right now. I don't think the doubt is there. They're clinching or anything like that. I did agree with Fernando Pisani said, and obviously I know, Fernando Pisani is good friends with Rupper and Brody, but in his fact of saying you coach 5 minutes and you play 5 minutes. That's how like going into game 4, he was on with Kyle Bacalsis.
Right, I heard it.
What's your advice on this? And he said, you coach and you play in 5-minute intervals. And I thought that's exactly what they did. And it's like obviously that was the message going there. Can you beat Bobrovsky in this team 4 games in a row? It'll be the biggest collapse next to Roy McIlroy yesterday.
Oh, that will be fucking guy.
Yeah. From his last putt, it took him 53 minutes from this putt to him being on a bird getting out of there yesterday at the Open. But I don't know. That was a pretty big epic collapse. He hasn't won a major in 10 years. That might, I think 2011. He was a kid at the time. He choked away the Masters in 2011. But anyway, off topic. But in terms if the Oilers come back, this will be the biggest collapse in professional sports history, and it'll be the biggest comeback in professional sports history. And I don't know, like, we all seen how this Florida Panthers organization works when things don't go good, man. If they won the President's Trophy, they lost in the first round against Tampa or the second round against Tampa. They fired their coach and they traded Huberdeau. This owner, he's a pretty crazy owner. And, Doug Stifu is another owner. I have him on Facebook, and he's pretty straightforward too. He's like Vinny Viola and Doug Stifu own the Florida Panthers. I've had conversations with Stifu before, and you think the organization in Vegas is ruthless? Like, it's pretty ruthless here in a way too. So they're maybe not as ruthless as Vegas. Vegas seems a little bit more, and that might not be the wrong word to say. It's just okay. Thanks for getting us to win, but we're getting on with you now. We're moving like Riley Smith. Anyways, I don't. It'll be crazy. It'll be good for the city. It'll be good for hockey.
If the Oil can make this 3-2, you've got to
They win.
think.
They win. Vandy. If it's 3-2, they win the series. It's over. Like they're coming back and winning in 7. Like you can't even at any like you understand the game. Like
Well, I was just talking to a buddy of mine tonight, and
you-
he's been to he was at the last 2 games, and he goes, I've never experienced what I experienced Saturday. And then he goes, if we win tonight, just coming back home, we're gonna will them to win Game 6, and then we're gonna go back.
2 days
And then
off.
now you got a team on their heels. And let's not forget what Nobber said about at the beginning of the series, the Buffalo Bills, right?
He did say a couple days ago, I'm looking for the next 10 days.
Right.
Looking forward to the book that Zach Hyman could possibly write here too. Like there's just a lot. I don't know. Hey, I took flack. I took 87 nasty, in somewhat ways comments on my Facebook post the other day, and I normally keep off Facebook for my posts about the Oilers because a lot of my friends, which is Facebook and it's friends and it's family, man, did I have to block some people and delete some people, and and I left some comments up there today. I had a few phone calls, people checking in. Are you okay? Like, hey, I like the Oilers organization. I like the players. I don't like 90, like, I don't know. Fans, I'm on the waiver, and people are like, "Why do you cheer against them?" I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. Why do I want to see the Oilers win a Stanley Cup? Like, would Toronto, like, if the Leafs were in the other position here, would you want to see the Leafs win a Stanley Cup? Probably not. Not every fan would say that, but hey, I don't want to see it happen. So like if you're a Canadian,
I'm the first to tell you I would not want to see the Leafs win a cup.
So of course I like. Hey, like I don't like. At the end of the day, I really have no stake in the game. I don't.
The only team I would in Canada would be Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton. Yeah. Those are the only 3 teams that I would want to
win,
other than the others.
Yeah. Hey, at the end of the day, like I'm entitled to kind of my opinion. Looks like there's already a riot in Boston. Didn't take long. But they just won the NBA Finals, by the way. So congratulations to the Boston Celtics. They just showed a video. It didn't look pretty good. So hopefully everyone there is safe and okay. They turning over an ambulance for crying out loud. So, yeah, we'll see. Hey, at the end of the day, if you're a fan of the organization or the team, yeah, you want to see them win. Obviously, I don't want to see them. I'm a Leaf fan. Everyone knows that listens to this podcast. I'm a Leaf fan. I don't want to see it. So. But yeah, it would be a tough situation too to see.
Yeah, but you have an Edmonton podcast. You'd love to see it.
Well, yes and no, I guess. Like it is an Edmonton podcast. I understand that, but you and Brody and Rupper represent the Edmonton side of the podcast here. So I represent the East and the Calgary Flames in a way. So that's kind of I got to cover a little bit more other parts unknown or parts of that. But I don't know. It was interesting. A lot of the Jeff O'Neill was pretty good today. He's like, you'd be pretty stupid. You wouldn't understand hockey if you think you're gonna blow a team out 8-1 again. So he's like,
that ain't happening.
Yeah, if you think that is happening, you don't understand the game of hockey one iota. So you just don't know the game at all. Just because icings and offside doesn't mean you know the game of hockey. Is what he said. So. We'll see what happens. At the end of the day, all they do, hey, we sit here in our couches, we watch the games, they go out on the ice and they play the game. And I would say that, the Oilers are the oldest team in the National Hockey League. There's a lot of savvy vets. There's a guy that won a Stanley Cup. There's a guy that lost the last 3 cups, and Perry is lost. Does the Corey Perry curse continue, or does he end that curse? Ekholm's been there, Adam Henrique's been there. There's a few other guys on that team. Brett Kulak's been there before. It was weird. Someone on the broadcast said Oilers have 7 guys that lost the Stanley Cup, but I don't count 7 guys that lost the Stanley Cup. So Perry's lost one, Ekholm's lost one, Henrique's lost one.
Listen, I forgot Kulak played for the Oilers.
And he wasn't, well, he's a funny guy, man. That guy's good on, like, you saw PK and Biz and all those, Mess and RA, all those guys at that bar Bauer downtown. I didn't even know that place existed in 2016 here when the Panthers were here. I took them out they all came to my uncle's bar, Central Social Hall, and they were like, we got to go somewhere else. Somewhere else is a little alive. And Kulikov goes to me, let's go to Bauer. I'm like, where's Bauer? And he's like, you live in Edmonton. You don't know where Bauer is? So we went to went there. It was a pretty cool place. So, and it is a very famous watering hole for NHL players. It's kind of a low key kind of bar. It's a smaller place, So I don't know if you've ever been there, Vandy, but
Never.
it is a pretty good place. As you saw that picture with.
I'm almost 50 years old. I don't go to bars.
Yeah, I know. I don't go either. I
I go
worked
to
in
hockey
it for 12
rinks.
years, so I've done.
I go to hockey rinks and I watch the game at home.
Yeah. Okay. So predictions. Now we'll move on to some other things real quick. What's your prediction of this game? Do you have a score, outcome, or you just gonna say like does your heart say the Oilers want to win, and do you think the Panthers?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm picking with my heart, and I mean, it's going to be a close one tomorrow. If the Oilers need to get that first goal, and
they have twice in this series, right? One time they did and they lost. The next time they won. So Panthers have done the same. When Panthers have scored twice, they've won.
We win tomorrow 4-2 with an empty netter.
4-2 empty netter. All right. I say I think it's just gonna be a close game.
Don't do it.
They punched their ticket. They win their first Stanley Cup, the Florida Panthers. I say like 2-1, 3-2-ish kind of game. I think it's a very tight checking game. The power play.
All right, enjoy the game, people.
Yeah, exactly. The power play is better than it is. So bye. All right, let's
and everybody shut us off.
Everyone. Well, everyone wants to kill me now. So, but obviously for hockey reasons, you want to see the Oilers go extend it to a game 7. Game 7s are awesome. The Florida Panthers have the next 2 to 3 games in their barn. So if that gets to that case, but I think if you get them to
you gotta here's
you get Florida back on a bird out here, it's over. It's going to 7. And then anything
you've got them on their heels right now. And I believe
I wouldn't say right now.
I believe
you've got them on your heels if you score the first goal. That's when it's when
you got to get that first goal. If they don't get that first goal, they're going to be in one.
Yeah. Hey, they hit the post twice, and
so Skinner, we need you.
Yeah. You need Skinner to steal you one. Jamie McLennan said it today. The Oilers win game 5. It's like they need Stuart Skinner to steal you one, and it's been the whole conversation today. He has gotten better and better as the series is carried on. Also, the team has too. So, but man, you'll never hear the end of it if they win a Stanley Cup. But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens, and we'll dissect the things right after that, anyways. But okay, so Darren Dreger was on first up in Toronto this morning. And he said to Carly Koliakovo and Aaron Koronik that he believes, in his understanding and what he's hearing, is that Brad Treliving wants to extend Mitchell Marner to a contract extension. So what do you think is more realistic to happen? Do you think Marner extends? Does Marner get traded? Or does Marner play out the rest of his year in Toronto? So 3 options. Where are you at? And where do you think what would play out here with Mitch Marner?
Well, I think he's saying that because no, he's not getting any viable trades for Marner. And I think everybody sees what Marner is.
Yeah, Darren Dreger is good friends with Darren Ferris, the agent for Mitch Marner too. So believe that but I would assume he's probably getting some kind of information of that. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off there.
No. I'm like, I mean, for me, I wouldn't. What does Mitch Marner provide to my team?
The thing is, you can't win with players like that. Like, you can't win with all 3 players the same way. Like obviously, and I'm not going to count Tavares because he's got another year left. But I guess in the last 7 years, 6 years, you can count Tavares. But they all play the same way. They're not a Matthew Tkachuk, not a Leon Draisaitl. They're not that kind of, here, bring me into a fight. I want contact. I'll give you contact back. They're just not that way. So, and this will be the same problem in Edmonton in a couple of years because they're facing the same thing Toronto is. That's why a cup now and a cup next year in Edmonton is very important because in a different way and just in terms of, they're not the same players because they play, obviously, we know with Connor and Leon, and obviously Connor beating Gretzky's record for the most assists in the playoffs. Like, I'm not discounting they can't perform. They can perform. I'm more talking about if you're adding $34 to $40 million of salary to 3 or 4 players, it just isn't going to happen. And it is going to happen in Edmonton. Be prepared for it, Oilers fans. You are going to be paying Darnell Nurse You're his $9 million. You're going to be paying Evan Bouchard 12. You're going to be paying Leon Draisaitl 15. You're going to be paying Connor 15 to 12 to 14 to $17 million in the next 3 years, the next 2 to 3 years. Like that is happening. It's not going to.
Hey, that's fine, but we're getting out of the second round. You're talking
Oh,
about
and you're getting to a conference final and a Stanley Cup final, like in Edmonton.
right.
I get that. So
you're talking about a guy that you're not winning with a guy like Mitch Marner, and Brad Treliving knows it.
Yeah.
He has no choice but to extend him.
I don't even think it's his decision. Like as much as he's general manager, I don't even think it's like his call. I think if you really put
you think GMs, I'm gonna ask you think GMs are lining up with trade offers for Mitch Marner?
No.
Fuck no.
Chance. No.
Give me an 18-year-old kid that I just drafted.
Yeah. Not a chance. He is I will be very fascinated to see if Mitch Marner does go to free agency in a year from now and he gets paid big bucks. I will be very, very surprised to see which general manager will stroke that check. That owner will stroke that check to pay him, $14-15 million. It will be very, very fascinating because if he stays in Toronto, the deal you in Toronto is you're offering him $11.5 million, the same as Nylander, because he's obviously not taking a discount for what he's getting now. But yeah, that will be a Brendan Shanahan decision.
I mean,
Brendan Shanahan,
he's never scored 100 points in the NHL. Yeah, he's a 90-point guy.
Yeah, he's a 99-point guy. Yeah.
No, he
can't perform in the playoffs. Not a chance he can perform in the playoffs. But also, you could say that for the rest of the players except Nylander. Tavares has been pretty good in the playoffs up until this year. Nylander's always performed. Matthews hasn't scored in his last 10 games in the playoffs. So, he gets a free pass because he scores all these goals in the regular season. So he still gets some heat. But, yeah, I don't know. As a Leaf fan, I don't want to see him come back. But at the end of the day, that's my opinion. And Mitch Marner.
Oh, yeah, he's coming back.
So
he's your coming nurse, man.
Yeah, he's coming back and he's going to get paid because that's exactly what Brendan Shanahan will do.
Fuck, they're going to give him 12 mil, 11 mil?
Probably. Oh, yeah. Yep, for sure. He'll get the same. The low end, he's going to get the same deal as Nylander. Full no move, 8 years, $11.5 million or 12 all day long. And that's
fine. He's earned it.
As a Leaf fan, you got to be prepared for it. It's going to happen. If Jaron Dreger's reporting that right now, that is the indication right now. So, and we'll find out in a couple of weeks, man. It comes close because, does he sign that on July 1st? And does Leon sign his extension on July 1st? Like maybe Leon waits a bit because they played this long into the year. So maybe he's just like, I'm going to Spain. Because he has a house in Spain. So maybe he's like, I just want to give you a month off. Don't even call me. I need to heal. I need to rest wherever. He might even be hungover from celebrating for a Stanley Cup win too, Leon Draisaitl. So
never know, Bosco. You got to believe.
Yeah, exactly. So who knows what he is there. It is interesting because Frank Seravalli is said, but it got shot down by a lot of other insiders. So it's interesting. He said that Bouchard, McDavid, and Draisaitl have already committed to signing here long term, and a bunch of other insiders said there's no chance that's happening. Like their goal right now is to win a Stanley Cup. They're not talking about signing extensions in the middle of a playoff round. So, I don't. Frank Seravalli's been wrong before, and there's NHL agents have come out very adamantly and said this guy is not the right information at all. So. Anyways, that's besides the point. We'll see what happens on that.
Right.
But yeah, I got to worry about winning a Stanley Cup first. So, okay, let's finish up on this. Some news out of Columbus today. Obviously, a new general manager, Don Waddell, announced last week. But Pascal Vincent has been he was dealt a crap sandwich, obviously, with the situation with Mike Babcock, and they did not have a good year last year, and he lost his job this year. So Johnny Gaudreau will have 10 head coaches in 10 seasons in the last 10 seasons in the National Hockey League. That is not a stat or anything you want close to your resume at all. But what do you make of this situation in Columbus, and who do you think should be the next head coach for the Columbus Blue Jackets? Andy?
Well, so the first thing that comes to mind when I heard that was Nuge. I mean, Nuge has had quite a few head coaches.
Correct. Yeah.
Been in the league a little longer. I think Nuge is more of a versatile player than a Johnny Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau is
one-dimensional.
One-dimensional where he's offensive. I think I think that has an impact on more of an offensive player than a guy like Nuge. But I mean that you gotta want like, and this one isn't Goudreau's fault. It never is
No.
Goudreau's fault. He's been plucked into situations where I never understood why he wanted out of Calgary.
I wonder if he regrets that now. If you get full true serum out of him, I wonder how much he regrets.
Right, and then for him to come out initially and say that he wanted to go back home, or maybe he didn't want to play in Canada, which Canada right now I wouldn't want to play here either. I mean, the country's in
disarray here right now.
Yeah, it's in shambles. It's a shithole.
Yeah,
like Edmonton's a shithole. I would not want to play here, but unfortunately, we work here and we have a life here, but we have to live here. But I don't know. I mean, I think he's just been put in situations where he's on a rebuilding team in Calgary or a retooling team in Calgary, and now Columbus, where he could have had Babcock, but unfortunately Babcock did Babcock things, and
and I know Gaudreau his numbers haven't been good the last 2 years since going to Columbus.
Right now you got Laine. Didn't Laine come on and say you want to get traded?
Yeah, he was in the players assistance program with some mental health stuff, but he did say he asked for a trade. So he's got 2 years left at $8.7 million. I don't know who's taking that right now, but that'll be a tough one to.
Right, but yeah, I don't know. Like Gaudreau, I wouldn't put any of that. I think it has more an effect on an offensive player.
Yeah,
where he, maybe Babcock would have gave him a little bit bigger of a leash, where Vincent was trying. Because make no mistake about it, when you come in, you're trying to A, get wins, and B, you're working with what you got, and Columbus really isn't an offensive juggernaut.
Yeah.
So you're asking a lot for an offensive kid to all of a sudden change his stripes and we need you to come back, and because it takes a while, as we're seeing now with Connor and Leon, you got to come back and play that 200-foot game.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas maybe Gaudreau doesn't, he's not ready for that yet. You can't just come in and go guns a blazing and, hey, we need you to play D. You gotta work with him a bit, massage him a bit, and get him believing the what's in it for me mentality. If you do this will happen.
Correct. Yeah. Yes, I agree. All right. Okay, let's finish up on that. Let's enjoy a good game 5, and let's see what happens. And maybe LeBlumba gets played one more time, and we'll see if these guys can push to a hard game 6 here back in Edmonton. I think Friday night would be
it'll be
so.
It'll be Friday.
Yeah, but it could be electric atmosphere. Man, Empty Netters and the Spit and Chicklets podcast, they had a hell of a time here in Edmonton for a few days. It was man.
Who's the Empty Netters?
A couple guys out of California, I believe. Power Brothers, I believe they are. Just 2 guys.
Why? What happened?
No, just like this, because there's the special suite Harrison Cates gave those guys like the podcast.
So they were in Uncle Daryl's.
No, they weren't in his. So Daryl Cates has his. They call it the Summit Suite, and that is up above where Daryl Cates is. It's really, really high up where the big glass is. So they had sushi there and everything. So no, Daryl Cates apparently doesn't sit in there. He actually sits in his box, which is center ice, right behind the Oilers bench /
I thought it was one big.
It is one that is one big suite upstairs, but it doesn't really get used a lot. But Harrison Cates gave that suite to both those podcasts.
Oh, that was nice of him.
And they were at his place playing ball hockey the in the morning too the other day, and they turned the ice into a blue surface, so they're playing ball hockey. And all the Black Aces were out there too, playing ball hockey too, and then they're playing basketball after. But they were all over the city having a good time, every bar, everything. We'll see if those guys make it back. They've obviously made it to Fort Lauderdale, and we'll see if they make their trek back here. That was a pretty cool clip of Biz choking out those two fans and Whitney getting fired up. But yeah, Biz was over at Shatified. He took some content there, and yeah, we'll see what that stuff is. And yeah, good on them. But yeah, this will be a fun series as it has been right now. And maybe it doesn't deserve to be 3-1, but it is 3-1 at the end of the day. And let's see if it can get pushed to
it. Is what it is. You gotta push through.
Yep. All right. Okay. Well, Vandy, anything you want to plug before we sign out?
Nope.
Okay. And I don't either. So everyone take care, have fun, enjoy the game. We'll chat with you guys later in the week. We have NHL agent / NHLP agent Elaine Waugh from Roy Sports Group on with us on Wednesday night. That interview will drop on Thursday morning. So Vandy, if you're free Wednesday night, I'll let you know. But yeah, so Elaine Waugh has been on with us before, so we're going to break a lot of things down. If you guys want to get some questions for that, fire us a DM and let us know. So take care, everyone. Have fun.
We interrupt the 2 Mutts podcast to bring you some breaking news. Manscaped now sells beard products. That's right. They are once again revolutionizing men's grooming with the brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. From a fresh shave to a beard trim, the technology behind the Beard Hedger Pro Kit allows you to shape your signature beard look. Now you can finally use Manscaped products to make your drapes match your carpet by going to manscaped.com and using code 2MUTS for 20% off and free shipping. Listen, I'm a real lazy guy. I hate shaving every day. Ask my wife. I leave thousands and thousands of little stubble in the sink. It's time to tame your mane. No one likes a weird beard. Say goodbye to all your stubble trouble with Manscaped's Pro Beard Kit. It all starts with the Beard Hedger. This thing is a juggernaut of fixin' faces. First off, this cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard. So no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. That's right. Face grooming does not need to be hard. Get 20 different beard lengths in just one guard. Plus, it's waterproof, so you can please your wife and shave in the shower to avoid all that hair in the sink. The titanium-coated T-blade is tough on hair but smooth on your face, leading to single-stroke efficiency that brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. This kit does not end there, though. They have created 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for your post-trim care. First, beard shampoo and conditioner, then beard oil, and finally, beard balm. The Pro Beard Kit also comes with 3 free gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code 2MUTS at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code 2MUTS. Manscaped, Beard Hedger, 1 stroke, 1 guard, 20 lengths.